Welcome everybody back to Boostin Motion, guys, and today we are going to lower the E63S. Yes, no coilovers, no lowering links. This is just a module that plugs right into the car. So guys, if you know what to do, hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boostin Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Welcome everybody back to the channel. First thing, shout out to my whole Boostin Motion family. I know you guys have already hit the like button. Thank you guys for your support. And if you're new to the Boostin Motion channel, well, I'm Boostin Motion, and this is going to be a car module that installed that we can actually lower the E63S. Currently, the car is actually in its full race mode, so it looks fully lowered. But I want it to be lowered like this all the way around. So let's switch to the NX side of the car so we can get a better look. And we're going to start the car briefly so we can raise it back to normal level comfort height. All right, so I did a quick measurement, and what I realized is that the front end actually sits a little lower because I measured from the floor to the fender. So I want it to be a little bit more evened out. That's number one. And number two, I want the back to be a little bit lower. So we're going to use this little module here. I just had it in my hand. I don't know where I put it. This little module, it's from Tune OBD. Shout out to this company. I'm going to put the links below to this useful device. Bear with me. But pretty much what you do is you plug it into the OBD, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So first thing, you got to turn the car off. Make sure that, this is something I do to make sure everything's off. Then you put the car in auxiliary mode with all the lights on. All the lights on. Make sure everything else is off here. I'm just going to turn that stuff off. Well, turn that on. I don't want to kill it. And then you plug it into the OBD. All right, bear with me, guys. All right, once it's plugged in, it should say diagnosis. All right, so you guys may have a little bit of trouble with the module. I did. I don't know why. I have two of them. Maybe the one I'm using was having problems before the fact. But anyways, you have different settings. You have factory, you have low, and you have custom. Now, with low, it just puts the car to its lowest setting. I'm not going to show you, but it pretty much slams the car. 60 millimeters like to the rear. It goes pretty freaking low, guys. I'm talking about slammed. But I like custom settings. The reason why I like custom settings is, well, like coilovers, you get to adjust everything. Now, the front of the car is about 27.5, and the rear of the car is about 28.25. So it's about 3/4 of an inch taller in the rear. So what I want to do actually with custom settings is change the rear to sit a little bit lower, or you can actually raise the fronts too. But let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can lower the rear a little bit. You got custom. So what you do is to go active into custom, press up on this. Then you press, it says the second menu, you press on custom, and it says front and rear. So you can actually turn the front up or turn the height up, and I'm pressing it right there to see if it could go up. I want the front to go up about 25 millimeters, and then I want the rear to be about 0. I don't want any changes to the rear. And then you press the button on that one, and then you press it again, and that is it. It's going to say security access, and once it says okay, it's safe to unplug it. So I'm unplugging the unit now. That should clear up the setting on the screen or whatever. Turn that off. Turn the car back on. Now, what's going to happen is the car is going to maybe take another minute, but I could hear the pump actually turning on right now. And the front should be raising about an inch. And it is. The front is actually raising about an inch. The rear is staying about the same, but the front is actually raising about an inch. See? If you guys want to take a look, it's actually raised about an inch. And the rear, all right, and the rear is about the same. So the front raised about an inch, guys. You guys want to actually see it, sit there and take a look. Right about 25 millimeters in the front, it raised up. And the rear is about the same. So what I'm gonna do a quick measurement. Get my handy dandy tape measure. All right, so I said that the rear was about 28 inches. So using the tape measure, right? So we're right about 28 inches in the rear, right about. So let's go to the front. Remember, I told you the front was a tiny bit above 27. Now, the fronts are about 28 inches. It's actually a little bit taller than the rear. A little bit taller. So I could actually bring down the front a little bit if I want. Maybe about another 5 millimeters. So what I don't know is how does this affect track mode and how does this affect other modes? I don't know yet. I actually do not know. So we're going to find out on the video right now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the car in track mode. And let's see how much the car lowers. So track mode. Okay, track mode is on. Sports is on fully. And the car should start lowering. Let's take a look and see. Vehicle data. And the car should start lowering really soon. I'm surprised it didn't. Actually didn't lower at all. See? I put it in track mode, full track mode. And the car didn't lower at all. Huh. Let's see. It's not going down at all. Let's step out of the car. Maybe because I'm in the car. It stayed about the same. I don't know. Maybe the module in it. No, the car's actually lowering now. Yep, the rear looks like it's lowering a little bit. The rear actually looks like it's lowering a little bit. Yeah, and the car is actually lowering. I'm looking at it right now. So the car actually lowered in the rear about fully. Let's see where it said now. The car now lowered to its full lowest setting. Okay, it's because I was probably in a whatchamacallit. And let's see what the new height is now when it's in track mode. All right, give me a second, guys. Getting a handy dandy tape measure. All right, so the rear end now it's still about 28 inches. I really, it says it lowered. It looks like it went a little bit under 28, but it didn't lower that much. Same thing for this side, about 28. And the front is still 28. And the rear, the front is also still 28. So I guess in track mode, the car actually doesn't really make any changes. Maybe the suspension just gets stiffer, but your height remains set. So I'll look at that a little bit more. Let me put the car back in comfort mode. Back in comfort mode. And let's put it to full height raise. So we're gonna go to +1 in height. And let's see how that affects with the module. How much more higher the car goes now. All right, the car is raising. It's actually raising here, front and back. Okay, the rears are definitely raising, and the front is raising too. I can actually see that it's raising up even more. Yep, front and rear. Okay, I think it's almost there. Let's see if it's there now. And it's still not fully there yet. It's still going up. For what I can see, it's still going up. So it hasn't got to the height that it wanted to get to yet. Okay, yeah, it's way higher now. Look, put my hand between it. Now we're gonna do a quick measurement test. I could hear the pump and everything kicking on. All right, quickly. Rear is now at about 28 inches. And the front is about, not 20 inches, 29 inches to the rear and 29 inches to the front. So it seems like it did everything in front and back evenly, front and rear. So that's actually pretty good. All right, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, guys, so I did my final measurements. I have about 27.5 in the rear. So if you guys want to take a look, about 27.5 in the rear. Yep, about 27.5 in the rear. And fronts are at about 20, closer to about 27.25. So the fronts are a little bit lower. So I only raised the front about maybe 1/4 inch, and I lowered the rear about 1/2 inch. So it'll be a little bit closer. I actually like how the rear sits right now. I don't really want it so much more higher. But I mean, if I do add a little bit higher, maybe 5 more millimeters of height in the rear and 5 more millimeters of height in the front. Nothing crazy that I can't handle. But right now, this is pretty much where I wanted this to sit. Let's go take a look from the car from the other side. See how we're looking. Remember, we're parked on a hill, so this is how it's seated right now. Remember, I still have to get the spacers for the front to actually push those out a little bit more. So once I get the spacers in, I'm gonna probably have to readjust the suspension because the wheel is gonna be a lot more closer to the fender soon. But all in all, this is the setup that I pretty much want, and honestly, the adjustability is so much more better than coilovers or any lowering links. Even the lowering links are about a fraction of the price. You still have to install it, and from then on, you have to adjust it from there. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just go with something that I can change on the fly. In under 60 seconds, I have the height where I want it to go. Well, the only downfall I would sit there and tell you guys is when you put the car in track mode or sports mode, the car doesn't lower. I've realized it stays about the same height, but when you do press it to raise the car will raise in height though. But going lower, if you put in sport mode, no. The suspension will stay about the same and just as stiff. But all in all, guys, check the link below to this unit. I have the Amazon link and hopefully an eBay link for you guys to look into. So outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you, guys. Thank you for always banging with your boy Boost. Otherwise than that, guys, appreciate it. Guys, have a good day. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.